In my most recent visit to my home park, Seaworld San Diego, I was able to do the impossible and put a cross to an item on my coaster bucket list. I got a Zen ride on the coaster that we are reviewing today, Manta. This mock multi-launch coaster was the first real coaster installment in Seaworld San Diego, and the second mock multi-launch to be installed ever. This coaster is what I believe is the best coaster in the park. Yes, it does beat Emperor, and I'll get into why later in this video. This coaster is located in the back of the park, so it's subjected to a max height restriction of 30 feet. Despite this coaster achieves everything it's meant to do and more. This is seriously one of my favorite family coasters. It beats Space Mountain and Thunder Mountain in my eyes. It's really that good. You can see Manta wrap all around the surrounding area. It seems to go everywhere and nowhere all at once. The queue entrance is really cool. There's a rock with the Manta logo planted on it, and a section of track running directly behind it. Additionally, the bridge to walk to the entrance has coaster track dipping under it. Like I said, Manta wraps around the whole area, and it looks really cool. Once you're in the queue, you walk down a flight of stairs and become level to the coaster track that dips under the bridge. There's a splashdown mechanism right there, but I never seem to find it functioning because the pond it sits in is never filled with water. After this, you turn around the entry rock and duck back into a tunnel that has 3 windows looking into a fish tank. Following this, you have some switchbacks that lead up to the station. This whole area is decently themed, especially for a SeaWorld park. There's a lot of greenery to look at, and the whole area is very visually appealing. Once you get past the switchbacks, you'll notice 2 separate unload and load stations. This helped add to their operations quite a bit, yet I still find Manta to be on the slower side. It's a good 50-50 shot on whether they use the unload station or not. If you go on a weekend, they will most likely implement it, but on a weekday they don't like to staff the unload station, which can drive up the wait time quite a bit as riders load and unload on the same side of the track. Because of the 2 stations, this ride generally runs 3 trains out of the 4 that they have, or 2 when they are not using the unload stations, and the trains do periodically stack on both 2 and 3 train operations. Now for the train itself, you have the mock trains used on their multi-launch model. These trains use over-the-shoulder lap bars that are very comfortable to sit in and are not too restricting. Like the other mock lap bars, these do tighten down quite a bit, even with the lack of strong positive G's that Manta has. The trains are meant to look like manta rays and have a blue color scheme that fits nicely with the track, and there's nothing really much else that's really special. Once the train dispatches, you immediately head right into a tunnel. This has a 360-degree projection along a circular screen, which shows an underwater environment. The train waddles back and forth, which is synced with the projections and music, before launching out of the tunnel. The layout immediately starts with a right turn and a dive under the bridge. This decline gives a decent pop of airtime. The pull then leads into another turn, which switchbacks into a speed hill that gives another quick pop of airtime. You then go into another turn, followed by a hill with another quick pop of airtime. Following this, you have a switchback that gives a good pop, a few more turns, and then you hit the mid-course brake run. If you couldn't tell from the first half of the layout, this family coaster is pure fun. There's some really good pops of airtime, and the setting of the coaster is absolutely fantastic. Since this coaster has to stay under 30 feet, there are some trenches dug out for the coaster to conform to local rules, which adds a whole lot more to the experience. Anyways, back to the layout. Following the mid-course brake run, you have a second launch, that I would say is about powerful as the first launch. It's not anything special, it's a mock launch, you could probably recreate it in your car. After the launch, you have a sharp turn to the left, which leads into a hill that gives a good pop of airtime. You then turn right and into a switchback, which gives the most powerful pop of airtime this ride has to offer. Then you have a pretty long left turn, which gives some faint laterals, and a few more turns and you hit the final brake run. This ride has a lot going for it, and a lot I wish it has. First of all, there's a lot of airtime for a family coaster, and I absolutely love airtime, especially with just a lap bar. The one thing I wish was that the launches were a bit more powerful, and that you had a little more speed going through the layout. You either get airtime on the start of the hill or the end of the hill, depending where you sit on the train. It's not really sustained, so I think more speed would solve the problem, but it's a family coaster, so I cannot really complain. Overall, this combination of a launch coaster and some half-decent airtime puts Manta a little too far up in my rankings than I would like to admit, and is why I think Manta is truly the best coaster at SeaWorld San Diego. With 2 launches and a decently long layout, it also feels like a truly complete coaster. Some final words is that Manta is not the most intense or well-themed coaster. It has a mix of everything that the whole family can enjoy, including your enthusiast needs. The airtime is decent, the launches are fun, and the theming is above average. In my eyes, it's impossible to not have a smile on my face when I ride this coaster. It's just fun, pure fun. And for those reasons, I'm going to give Manta a final score of 8. As always, thanks for watching the video and making it this far. I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and make sure to have a great rest of your day. Bye.